Hello, and welcome to the Professor Kev Show. I got my friend Tanish with us from Polaris. Good afternoon, my friend. How you been?
Good, sir. What about you?
I just living the dream, my friend. So tell us a little bit about Polaris Aerospace.
Polaris Aerospace is essentially a volunteer-based company which is being formed, and what it aims to do is it aims to essentially spread access to a lot of technology to students. So, usually, people have heard a lot about rocketry teams. A lot of schools have them, although they're a bit more rare now. Still, we see, for example, different universities like University of Pittsburgh's SOAR program or UMD's rocketry team. Well, Polaris does that, but it's bigger. Essentially, multiple rocketry teams can join Polaris, and what we offer is a unique pathway system. So rather than it being a simple, here's one rocket, let's work on it. People get to have more leeway and choose what skill they want to learn. For example, we offer three different paths currently, namely engineering, software and data analysis, and fundraising. Essentially, we want to make sure that every student, regardless of their passion and career, has a spot at Polaris to do something that they value and want to learn from. On top of that, Polaris is also in collaboration with a few companies to release its very own competition that will be rolling out around the end of March or April.
That's nice because, like you said, it gives you the flexibility to do what you want. If you're in a school project and you already have the engineers, like, well, we don't need more, then you kind of get left out by the sound of it. So seems like a decent approach. So tell me, what's the crystal ball time? What are you hoping to accomplish with this? Where does it go?
So there is, I wouldn't say the end goal because at Polaris, we don't say the sky's the limit. We never go with that phrase. It never stuck with us. We say that there are no limits. Barriers were always made to, be crossed. So, um, our current main goal is to become the first high school team or company to make a model rocket that goes to 300,000 feet, essentially the Kármán space line, and we become the first high school rocketry team to go to space. That is our main goal.
Okay.
We've come up with multiple designs and we have some really, really good models ready. However, we are currently more looking on the funding side and building side. Since we've expanded since last year, what we're doing now is that we've realized that okay, we have our goals ready. We know what we're trying to accomplish. Now, how do we get more people on board?
Yep.
So, right now we're focusing on getting more computer systems and engineer-based people along with fundraising so that we have not just enough skills but also enough money to give way to our first big project. And then after that, we've got some really cool and insane projects planned. I mean, once we reach space, that will just show everyone across the whole world that it doesn't matter if you're in college or high school, you can actually do this. And once we get there, I mean, the possibilities are now endless because if we can send a rocket to space, what's stopping us from even sending a remote satellite which can monitor hurricanes and stuff like that?
All right, so 300,000. Where do you do that? That's you can't obviously have something in your backyard type of thing. Where would you do that?
So, using going through the FAR organization, we will be going to California, in the middle of the desert, and essentially we will be launching rockets from there. It's pretty cool because even at night, at that location, since it's so remote and away from people, you can see the whole strip of the Milky Way galaxy.
That is pretty neat. But obviously, one of the big issues is fundraising because this doesn't sound like it's inexpensive to do. So do you have plans in place to help you fundraise for it?
So, a few plans currently include mainly going to events such as in Harrisburg there will be an annual aerospace day and Polaris will have a table there, and we'll meet a bunch of adults, students, teens, everyone. We're going to talk to them and we're going to convince them to get on board with us, and the main way we plan to accomplish this is through very, very specific programs. So Polaris was originally created, as mentioned before, to be something that students can express their true passions through. And we don't just want them to do this through one big project, but a few tiny projects. So students can build rockets probably the size of your arm all the way to 22 feet rockets. So it's really awesome. And
Hmm.
everyone starts off at the same place. They all start off at a position called sand specialist. And they make their way up there. And we're basically going to explain this to everyone and how essentially you can be on board with Polaris and we'll teach you how to make rockets along with computer systems or engineering or fundraising, and we will develop those skills within the adult student or teen joining anyone. Another way we plan on doing fundraising is through CAD engineering classes. Now, although there's a lot of engineering PLTW classes that are offered, um, not a lot of students, especially when they're starting their own independent projects, know how to use Fusion 360 and stuff like that. And all of the introduction videos to these software programs, they're around 3 to 4 hours long, which immediately discourages students right then and there and makes them stop. So what we plan on doing is we plan to offer CAD lessons in the summers, and moving on from there, even in the spring and fall, where essentially people can pay us a sum amount, which will not go towards any individual person, but rather towards the team funds itself. Every single dollar that we earn from that. And we will teach students how to develop their own models and how to use CAD so that they can excel in their own independent projects, even if they don't want to join Polaris.
What's the best way for the people to reach out to? How can I learn more, my friend?
So if you want to learn more about Polaris Aerospace in general, we will be having a website that will be up and running most likely by the end of this month. And another thing you can do is just you can contact me. I'm the lead currently at Polaris, and I reach out to multiple people of how they want to do stuff, and if they even want to make their own branch and stuff like that. So if anyone just wants to learn more about Polaris, all they have to do is just send out an email or just a message, anything like that. I'm mainly available for Polaris Aerospace pretty much every single minute of the day, especially during our crunch time right now, which is to just get as many people on board and as much money as we can get raised.
Yep.
So even if I'm doing a schoolwork or something like that, I'll most likely be available through messages and calls.
Awesome. I appreciate taking a few minutes calling the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you.